Good evening, good evening. Mema wo adwo na enwumre. Ya say shemu biu. Da sene ye no. Edu Saturday memene da enwumre se a na ye nkomode na ya adesua. Enti se ye ba wo fie a na ye enigi sem. Ye so da wasenya menhira wo se waje akonya na wo ni obusuafo na enwumre wo besua ade. We eye odo trom dwumedie. Midin de Francis when I met in a dream, now my dan and a jumedie. Said a da ye no, and so in coma ye de to pony and come dead. A young coma. Every couple, no matter how much you've been in love, no matter how experienced you are, no matter how the techniques are, or no, the one way or the other have experienced this. And what do I mean? And I didn't make count a conflict and I say adwene enko kroyem. Now when we talk of conflict, it doesn't mean chaos. When we talk of conflict, it doesn't mean say me buofu and I say me too I'm slamming the door at you Debbie. Conflict doesn't mean emotional distance. Now in fact, when it is handled with care and with love, we can still argue and be in love. Yes, we can argue and be in love. And that is what we are going to discuss. And then you may conflict without chaos. How to argue and still stay in love. So, and yebeka in your ma bebre ni yebedi unkomo. Yebedi unkomo no ebine. What does a healthy argument look like in a relationship? How can couples argue without attacking each other? How can we argue without attacking each other? How do the two of us repair our difficulty after argument? Say ye argue ye kasa ye ho a ye betimi sie ebi onso what makes argument move into chaos our and relationship. So these and many other questions are ye bedi unkomo. We did say we fear mo so ye be mo akonya wonso wo de wadwen kire enne me pese wo a wo sem na wo frɛ. We did say da ni de nyina wo ye wadwen say wo pese wo frɛ esim. Nanso oya ebia na line na adrop and I say I busy but enne me pese wo tro number we to 0246239070 0246239070 me pese wo tro sa number ne to me no so ne ka se frɛ a na wa frɛ esim dwumadie na me nko na me de eba ofiefie me wa boafo bebre a me no mu di dwumadie me director Abigail or boy bebre Abigail director and they say no kasegu masum. In fact, she's been of much help. Have a Cristiano who temen kan wo fie sound Cristiano Adaroma ana wote sanzo na me wo Elizabeth and Richard omo de boa Emma camera e see so a wo fie omo Adaroma sanzo na me wo menua be ma set or MCR master control room on all dane fidie ni nyina ansan ye wo ya overall producer Ken George na Daroma entina dwumedie nso ye de eba ofi dwumedie nso boafo mo amaso yase a yetimi de eba gbedema herbal product. Yes, gbedema herbal product ye kan gbedema ene eduru bebre o Daroma o de gbedema garlic mixture e ka gbedema garlic mixture say namness unsaye titriti anase onase atatai anase oswate anase ofo ekese ye ohia ye gbedema garlic mixture afi ye wo gbedema big man capsules usisi ye oya ohia gbedema big man capsules ye gbedema cocoa capsules say afi uyemetim anase cocoa all that ohia ye gbedema cocoa capsules your gbedema ladies capsules a man ade bi e fa mo hu bia oba enfitu kom uhia gbedema ladies capsule your gbedema molecule malaria typhoid fever de uhia your gbedema molecule so open the way to a number was offer 0248288788 so open the way for 0248288788 788 Accra oko Okaichi drug lane na ubenya bi Kumasi so oko Dani Helba ni other drugstores and pharmacy shops e wo Kumasi a bedema edru no yato apete. And the same medin kan we are going to look at chaos without conflict and how to argue and still stay in love. It will be such a nice time. Tell a friend to tell a friend that the Love Garden show is up. And we are here to educate. We are here to mend broken relationship. Meba, meda, me chiamia na nipa me ni bedi dwuma ide na che. Me twa me ho abasema kakra bi. Me nko bebrea enche meba sisi. The Love Garden show. Senior Medin can no. Energy ya two din conflict without chaos. Say ye be disagree and I say ye nyadwene nemum ye odofoi emfa nko entokwa anabasabasem. Entine ye betimi aka how to argue and still stay in love. In the end no ye dwumedi a ye ba be ye ne kama Mr. Snasi. Edin me wo me ankasa me sofo me counselor Reverend Francis McCarthy of Flames International Worship Center Malam ene ono ana ye ni be di dwumedi osofo. Good evening Akwabans.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we are always happy to having you. Abi yese busuafo nyina ehoye.
Obia hoye Yesu adom obia hoye.
Me this last week I had a call and in fact the guy who called was your friend Richard. He said a lot that how impactful for the past weeks this program. And the Dana Yentimian show no had pa.
Oh, okay.
And I want to let you know we are blessing homes. And in fact we are impacting the lives of people. And the no. And no ye be doing conflict without chaos, how to argue and still stay love. And the ending can free say, what does a healthy argument look like? Yaka healthy argument, what does it look like in a relationship?
So in every relationship, first I say me digina so say in this situation, every relationship, being it marriage, courting, whatever it is, a bearman and much of the responsibility no ejina no so because a bearman and a nyankopon and the order of things no nyame ye no a bearman no na show leadership and tis a bearman no it taking a rightful leadership position near a beba relationship mu bia no he is supposed to be the one to manage it. And talking about a healthy relationship and a healthy conversation, communication, much will depend on Beman. It depend on Beman ne senior utimi eje sa akasakasa na beban sen obi timi ni composure and say the posture or the behwe sa conversation no. So this our posture no ye behwe sa posture na very important because our posture no na be ma you say the man is in control. Okay. Whether he gets angry. So for you to have a healthy conversation, the man must have a good composure. The man must be the one to direct affairs and be able to calm down tempers and not do battle in the conversation, but redirect the conversation and manage the conversation. Into no, a healthy conversation is say bema no etimi eboa se kasa be kan se kasa na de ye kasa fun ye kasa de anase ni nia agina bema no ne posture or they be receive sa we no. And in every relationship no, that is the healthy way you have to look at it. The man's disposition and posture is very, very important.
And ni nyina agina bema ne so
Prempi no me kasa bema no because on say emba normally move with their sentiment, emotions. Na yen mbema no aya de se na nyame yen ne say we are very analytic and reflective. And no kasa ne beba voice no erisia e be fi oba no and our bema no tempo nti wo bema no say we hear voice modulation no control we the obeka need the obey bia how you receive it, how you are able to nurture it no eboa betimi a two ways say oba no so betimi a direct affairs when the bema no your bema bi so omo so very emotional anti so oba no omo two no obu bia obetimi amature that emotional intelligence no is very, very important. It helps to if you like control the conversation and direct it. Ten years say na emfa useyo and now ye your emba.
So in every healthy argument there is a level of emotional intelligence at play.
And one of the things, let me make this statement clear. We don't argue to win.
We argue to
we are rather argue for the truth to prevail. And we argue also to save the relationship, not to win the argument. And to argue, I am not arguing to win. Men am somewhere there. Yen argue say, yeah, kasa by nyani anasem me pese mu se me masem there. Me chire mu se masem there na wona wo ye wona udi for. By mu ye bibia de se edikan adwene ho ne se ne ye nyia no yen fe kubo no ye won relationship ne ye won eno no na ehia de aye ka no se ne be ye ade aye ye na be boa saa union na e wo mu no eno no enya ade edi ye kan na nya nia na asem ede because sa wasem ede na obewie na relationship na sa ya na wasem no ye ede no na ekusi sen
any dey also for the whole kind any people will bring enya wrong because obi wo ha from what we've been even the art of listening and crowd out here obi wo ha oni obi kasa o man na no buensi na opentem crowd bwere
inti na make say inti it comes back to say listening no you can ho asem say ebetie no asopen because the main focus na say asem bia ye ka bia obi a wo ne world view obi a wo se ne hunu ne fa but inti na make say be man no ye tri no eye wo na say o direct sa affairs na wo direct sa affairs na say o make sure say asem no a nipa ne ka no in fact question be to say I hear you saying metis a wo kan ni e bia nipa ne ka bibi fufuro da said de bia no nye oh for asem na wo de say na wo te who use sa language na you what say asem no but de bia ne say me oh metis say na wo ka me pacho obetimi a kire mu enti de bia no oh you do inquiry inquisitorial and ye adversary. Okay. And to call adversary. And no because the Americans say as for conflict is inevitable.
And then I like what you just said. We argue not to win. We argue probably to get the truth, to get better and further explanation of particular.
Thank you. Yes.
That's very good. Also, let us look at this. Okay. So, do you believe conflict is necessary in a relationship? Why? If you believe, why? If you don't, why not?
Yes, conflict is inevitable. And
is it necessary?
Necessary. I say, but chaos is optional, but conflict is necessary.
Why?
Because ye nipa yatete ifi fufuru. Enuanom kra tena ntokwaba. Enuanom kra yetena ho a aya yetin ko benkrum because yesusu ye ne se ne yehunu ade no different nti eno de ade a nyame ye yensa. It is a diversified nature of man and the way I hu nyame abode obi betimi ehu ntate na nani age se nyame eye eso eno na obi so ehwe elephant and so wetimi yi nyame aye obi so hwe epepo obia ne se ne tinti eno no because of that divergent views view of things ne approach ni we ni ade no enti eno de ebeba. But chaos dey optional. We na be choose say ade we a ye mema na ye ntokwa mema na ye oseyo ana say meka na me de akire se ne mesumi hunu nefa. Enti aware mu ana say relationship mu ne ye bia no ne ye se ete ase ne say ye do ye ho indi ye ho echinie.
Sisubi
ye do ye ho a indi ye ho echinie.
Sesen
Ye do ye ho a ne ye bia no etinye yobiam nemu yaji ehudi se ne ayeye no se ne edo ehudi odo no ye wo ma ye ho nanu no hia sin enchen nsuo ni chen no a de ebe abekeka ho a emma ye do no endim enti yete ona argument bi ba ana bibi ba na mentebe ho ase bi ba ne yesi ehwe ne se relationship no ne bo esom yen ene sa asemi a ye se ye kokko ekoye nu oseyo na ade ne say relationship ne say me fa me bag na me kona na den na yenya wom emfa so ben ne baaye e de maaye
bi nso ndwene saa o
emprepi no eye ebufuo ni akoma because temperament ne bem enti na meka say me de sombo no gina bema because leadership must be shown in every relationship and it's the man nyame bo ne mani o de ma bema no edin abema ne de ma de bia nyame gitu mu sesa na yese ne na me ni din o de bema no ba nyame akasa hye din no but ma bema ni ni and so whatever the man called God accepted it and was so the man on the onset is the leader of the home. Whatever relation, the man must give that direction. The man must determine how the relationship will be shaped and be formed. Because embody obano de bi opedia efe opedia di enije ne sede anyway ne ba bambema ye ne anu mudru anwon entino relationship bia na yawo mu no ye make sure say ye manage de anwon ne ne de ni nia se ne be ya bitimi ama relationship ni edimu say me and am yes and relationship no okasa de me a o say ade no nti ya give ne so tie me side eno yen aha enye wo side na ye hwehwe enti die ne ye ya ebeboa yen for instance me fan say enye me bi to say sika sem it made the conflict ba a bit to say battles color efie paint color ye ko occasion bi atade e be hye sane ma no de ba enti be fan say e bia wo yere ana ukunu wo yere ye spendthrift na no de bibia sika no toto ne ma no wi na akwaka say asema ba na akwaka na winya start say I feel you always waste money. You are a wasteful woman. That be. What say? And no the chaos now starting.
I say blame me or no. Oh, put to blame me.
But unya can say, I feel very unhappy when we waste resources. When we waste resources, one can say you. We say when we.
So choice of words.
It's a choice. Not say what jia to me say yes say sika. One can say sika. So we nim dia wo to na nim dia no soto. E na onim se ono no or say at the end but say yes say sika. So okay enti niam asbia na ya say sika. We biem. No can say last month we to back base 6 mesomato we by bags ni aye to nyini ni an use banka ye service asika we na nke ye de to we mu a nke beboa na bi ankwala no so no ya to we ni we nti se wisti asika we ebe he what's the conversation nti onhu ni se eyo no e na wo ka kire na mo wo ka kire yen even though enye wo e na wo say no but I'm so we leader nti no you are trying to bring the blame on us nti enye wo mende wo me de yen nti e ma akoma no eba fom e ma so no bie na efidie eni no edikan ti de awo kan de okay mate and the sad dia me ye ni se me we na me pentiment and the okay o de enye se this year what bag base two next mentor bag do yen twe bibi foforo yen yesi o say what direct ade no anka be ye akasakasa no what direct no and once you put the burden on us because our remu and our relationship yen de won ye de yen.
So from what you are saying, then conflict is necessary.
It's very necessary.
It's very, very necessary. We are not talking about chaos. So from that, you bet me, Eddie, you say conflict is not chaos.
It's not chaos.
As a funny, it's here for me. You say, "What in here, patch na? You can't conflict. Everyone say, meet me. I can say disagreement.
Yes.
Disagreement. And nyan tokwa. And to unu obi nya jenia. And yes,
yes.
But then, if conflict is necessary, also Makati, then a song for so. What are some of the importance of conflict in our relationship? A song for so, saying.
Emphasize, Emma, yenyawo, conflict and a disagreement. Mu our room the every breed. And say a boy ma yet ye who say emu senia ye sha dear fa near Jennifer near D ni susu near mafa intino ebia me no watena. Yatena for me fan say 30 years and now say 10 years and now 5 years. Sasa niema na mba ema mi hu eniema bia senia ususu niema bi hu fa. Enti ebia da mi hu ni say table mi di see left ha na ye. Baby a wo mpene sa enti de bia mi di si anu abesesa. Eno na ede ntokwa na ba nti se me hu say sa ade si table the table si ha se na block ne mirror no a ompe.
So ema hu the
viewpoint send you no hwe ne fa angle no hwe firi nti ebre pi no e kire wo sa disagreement ba eyiyi suban bi a enieme bi a na unimu fa o partner no ho no e da na di kire wo ema hu ni say okay say we no ompe ana per student mi miefi asra ono ompe mi mia ne nchemu a ompe ne sa opese na yi bed sheet no yeto a ese yesi ompe kalawi ope kalawi enti emawun eno na buaye ma yetimi yedi ho ye ho nkomo na yetimi so also make the choice say ye bibia no a yetimi consider each other ne preferences enti ebua ma yehu preferences world view and how nipa no ehwe niema fa how approach to the same thing ayenia ye kwahwe movie yenia ye kwahwe movie ana ye tifie ye hwe TV together but wo TV no na ye hwe no me pe news wo so pe sports ana wo pe movie bi wo pe Nigerian movie me so me mpe but ma hwe hu so okay sa time we ne yes ade we enti ani me program crash here and the modern day TV no betimi ahwe wo TV so betimi ahwe wo phone so enti saade ne be ede oyenya mehunu se me yire hwe sa program sa time yi enya afiansa me so me time aso nti ese me so me ye de me kohwe enti no ema mehunu se okay that's the disagreement ye first time say ne buy enti o say ade dem dey go me phone so oh ye wo program no nti behwe na wo so akohwe na wo hwe wo de ema wo hu se ne abedan nipa no ema wo hu kasa. It teaches you the language, the words you use that is suit your partner. Kasa bi wa meka na nka minim, but through disagreement me hu se sa kasa we meka ompe
ebi kasa ni bi ti say jawa sef jawa sef to ya my wife mpe jawa sef kra. There's a colleague at work on so mpe jawa sef kra o say yan fans me asantini my wife infantini enti no asantini obikas o jawa sef o hu ni say normal but no from the front viewpoint when we say
yes sir fantini o can nyanse ni enti so eno crowd cultural perspective ni ni aba em ye hu say dia make no enti say disagreement but it shows you varieties, it shows you preferences, it shows you say nipa no asem no a make kire nipa no this is how the person is so it becomes an educative for you, an observation for you to know say okay it is our choice of ways me any say me yes sad day we any say me choose sad day we any say me to have him sad day we any say na eboa ninia is to shape the relationship and to build the relationship into disagreement is very good because it helps us because yenia ya dwen eko benkromu a the beauty of it no emba out because yes shade with them na me ye fantini na bi a me pe blue. Enti blue no ana de bi a me ni je ho. How does it bring color blend? Ba bi a unya nyi bi no so hwe color. Okay, we ka ho a. Enu ntina it brings out that into no ehia.
Choice of words. Maybe they say omo amata. So what is our word? You question pa. So what is our word?
Yes, and so in that situation,
how do you mean?
Yes,
because you
okaso you question na chese the person o ka kire ne say ondi no kre na mesoso ne onye trustworthy.
O ka tra santini so you question a pa kire say wa mobra. O say ye ka asem bo na waka asem o ka de you question. In other words, you are not being truthful. One kind of correct. That is how the fancy woman or man will see. But look at just Santini say, "We are questioning. Hey, we need to because a part say, oye, one bobra or a sanseni. Oh, and you know, the word questioning, but it means differently.
But that's Santifone can we are truthful.
We are truthful or no on can koshi. Koshi say one bobra and Santini koshi. But Obeka say you're truthful, but Fantini Beka say you kushini. But Katria Santini so you kushini anyway tiana now so why you na didn't obi betimi no. Yes,
intina make us a choice of words, but all these things no for education, because the more you see, the more you ase, the more you hunu sa niema ni na ye disagree, we disagree to agree eyi ni ade na eboa. Nti be ma no a no ye leader no awo home efi no said Danny Denya you pay attention to that environment, that space, and manage the communication space so that at the end ba ubetimi asoso ano.
Thank you also we are really so conflict. Okay, now let me top it up with this question. Can we liken conflict to fire? Normally we do say fire is a necessary evil. And can we liken conflict to fire? Is there any similarity?
You bet me the atoto. Ne say ne ye de toto ho ane ye hwe ne say eja wo hui e won papa na e won bone. Nti eja ba depending on the akọ eja no. Any baby eja ne e hye e dere fa no. Any ne ewo eja na kwem na e be kire say e be destructive ana e be ye beneficial. For instance, sa oti abruchiri na sa a cold season there's a heater in the room eja ahwe be hia se na be ye but oti baby a hon heat water da unko soja because eno no ebenuam ebesewo is going to be discomfort to your body nti sa na kasa so akoye in our money in our relationship no conflict na sa na akoye sa utimi ekura ni yi ede ewo the right context ne se ne wo se ye di nkomo ne fa no a eno ai se dwa eja ebe ka wo hye
that
embese wo na emu se we ehunu se ne abebrabra so a eno na di chaos ne beba ntina meka se chaos no option you na person okofa ana say open asundwe
we are talking about conflict without chaos, how to argue and still stay in love. Conflict without chaos. So you see what a healthy argument looks like. And you say that conflict is not bad, it's necessary in every relationship. Now you see say it helps us to know the viewpoint of our partners. It also helps us to know the choices of, and we can disagree, we become better whatever we are doing. Now let us look at how do we now react when the disagreement shows up. I want you to look at it from these 4 angles. 1, do you withdraw? 2, do we engage in debate? 3, do we get emotional? And 4, do we try to fix things? How should we react? One reacts when disagreement shows up. Must the person withdraw? Must the person engage in a debate? Must the person get emotional? Must the person try to fix things?
Okay, so I'll take the 2 points. Withdrawal and debate is not a good thing in any conflict situation. See, don't yenya akasakasa ba enya mfiansa ye beto ayampia na ye ba be kire ni unim nyansa a oni ne kasa mu do eno ni debate no ye keka ye kan ye ho nsem ye to ayampia try to punch holes ne we ni ade but say ye aware mu nsem ene relationship eye nketahudie ho komo no ayampia ese ye bom modin ase ye betwe ye ho efiri ho
amanfo to ayampia pa
ye betwe ye ho efiri ho because eno no eye no because eno no na di chaos ne beba ena sa o withdraw so a na kire say asem no pese o kata so umuamu aso asem bia e ba ye kata so umuamu aso no ke man kam itirim asem man kam adwen a se unhunu de wo mitirim eno nti na nkofo be obi on a asem nesi no waye din onka ho asem oba ne nka ho asem e hyenimu na odi ya osan o haboa na edu baby eno na de eyaw ne ade na ma bi won mu a omu take the life of their partner anase onam so de ye niam bi etia nipa no because or harbor pain and in harboring of the pain no will develop hatred because there's a thin line between love and hate.
Sure.
Enti no once ade na me se me nkaso makata so me mu aso no but me die bobo wo me mu. Enti me hwe de ameso me ya ebeye wo ya.
Okay.
Enti eno no na ekodu baby na efide me makata so man yese man kasa ho na wo ye ni me bi ne ha me na bia wa start so no obi di nkomo fa mechi na efide jealousy ni sa na man ba na efide eno na de ehun so but mienu mu aka no eno ne ye necessary whenever assembly si a ye pe asem no pumasibre to resolve the issue. It should be our priority. Emotions are always involved because emotions ne de senia mete asefa matin kan senia te and emotions ne de we cannot withdraw them.
Okay,
they will come. Emotions like anger, like pain, like mistrust, rejected, and all of that will come because of assembly until that emotions will flow. Natural, it will come. Either the person gets angry and I say the yaw be asheni muni we ni ade no beba ena eno ba ekwan ba ni ye be fa so a ye be si ye be pe ne pomase bie eno no ne hia nti eno no sa no nyedu on mo pe de ese ye ya ne say okay asem we how do we resolve ena me ka say eno na bem ho na bem ma kire ni bem asem eni ni mpe ni die.
But I remember last week you said something about withdrawal.
Say me can say you don't run away.
Move outside the house.
Outside the house. Minko. Inti na me can say no oyesa no a you are not being the leader and the man you are. Inti na me can say sa tu ne de e se e de to nchen.
Withdrawal ni debate na.
E fe to nchen. Enka because eno no ye weakling. Eno no kire say oye mere unni sa ahohyeso no e dey resolve problem no but as a man no sa mienu no ni say man wo man ba wakom oba no kwa redra wo na say o twen ne ben ho say ti the buy no see and sometimes you are not at fault but enamidi can say the relationship our bibia ye bia no we should be mindful of the relationship and whatever kasa ekokan we are not saying to win enye me masamo ye denti da de bema your relationship ne gina eno na me hwe nti na any solution no nti even when you are not at fault jitum say one are leader no eye me so we say ade no man ye we nti na ma wo so dwen say nti wo je sanfo so nto a mma sabema oya ade ono oba no kra na eye na be ma ne jitum say wo de enye hwe emia mi hu say mia na man ye ni na ojitum pe e ma adwen ne sesa say obeti nti going forward me say men fa habi mate asa o say si ehunu saa adwene no a yetimi in that leadership no hwe nyankopon say na nyame ne yetena and to me show something in Philippians chapter 2 or say do not humble yourself and put other people's interests ahead of you. How can you do that? Sa na nyame Kristo ni nyame pese yetena enti aware animu relationship ni mo won be ma no put her interests ahead of you and no interest we jimi na mo open solution that means you value the relationship than the issue.
You value the relationship
than the issue. Sa issue ne ba betwe mako.
Okay.
Enti na ye kokoko a ye ware waware 10 years waware wakonsɛn ensɛm no a moko ho no a mudi ye we a wokeka nsɛm bi na mo anadwo bi wa mokoda mankasa ene fa akosi ano sansɛm no today what is its place in the relationship enti mframa bi a ebo bia no ebetwem ena ese mframa ebo huhu no esesa niema but enche enti ese wude bia no dwene ho se ade na me koka no kasa no a me ka no ade na aba no ne puma sibre ne den se na me so ano a ebeyi enti wo hwe na sa unum se me yire no da bi mene na yewe one ne kasa edu sa time na one ne kasa de anya de obetiw ne modie na ese wo ye ebia be din a waka no wo huru no a wadwe no ebi ho no ma sometimes ana me kase hwe opese wo solve problem a sani abeko atiti bi ebe solve edi peace beba na enu ne hia nti ebi wa yewe no ko bunkoto de se o abna ade we de me am se man ye ni be ma no ai hwe mbema bibiri no sebe aya na ya igu but hwe oba ana be ma ni bufu sedem na ebi wo asa obre ho asa say a soft answer turns away rough okasa no ye we no ase misro nankasa ye enye bo fault but relationship no hia sem enti na ya ka bi e kan say aware ye maame mu no mo ka say enkwala ni nti enye say de edidi no ene de eye enkwala ni nti enkwala no aye ka no eye the relationship no aye wo eni bebia ye fi aye bedu ha no eno na say hu hia ye sen asem no aba no issue no betwem issue no ebetwem bankwala no te ho enti nka aware we nka aware fun panka me sori efim ko nka kasa girl nkombume nka papa yo mfa me nya hwe nka me sori ko nenso me ye kristo ni nyame e kire me se ahobrase ene mpaibo etimi sesa nipa nti den ne wo se me ya metimi di aso sa de ya obi timi tete in certain marriage obi be me bi otimi tete oba ne se no be oba no be pack ne mako ba oba ne na ho brase ni win okwa o se me yire ma ye de me ye bi aso obeko ba onko nti e wa no no ahia e se me sesa because oba we ni nya ne so bi
because I've heard a man say that to me
nti no in discourse no ushie bi obi otimi ka say papa we tete ama tete no se ko still dia o ka dia ni bube fukura no a because sietimi nya sa abotre no a ye be hu say emotions no ebeba but emotions are there is meant for us to control ourselves. That's why the Holy Spirit mind is self control nti say otimi nya ahohyeso hye ho so de o kan na nye ba fa bo na o de bo no no na owu ya e de na wa achieve nti be hia se ade no ye ka asembi na aba eni edi ebobo no ye ka ho no me nka ne be ye ne ya me pese be ka bibi e be ne ya pa you are just being immature nti de bia me ka say relationship is for mature people, emotionally mature people. Let me use qualified emotionally mature people enye obia keke no sorry a nti ye date poni
ne be worry
enti sa mo start dating na hu se ntokwa ye be ni de bia ni say argument e say kire wo say red light ade we me cross sa light here accident be ba
enti no these two withdrawal debate there no lie
hwe ade bia asem bia be ba ye be ne say afiansa me be je me ho akire mu ma debate mu say yes me ko school sa kasa no nya be mu ape sa kasa no nya be I say bibia I'm educated. Don't take me for granted. I'm educated. So kasebi wa woka o say asem no enye we education e de ba ware enye education tin e ware e ware ye say ye hunu say ye ho no ye betimi a complement each other
botai binti
and enti de yenim ne ne yenim se wo ko school me man ko school eye wo de awunim no abetimi de asese obi an ko school bo ama ware for 50 years a wetimi ahyehye ne yere no ana bema no a we onni sa anim de no oba no etimi epagya no manene na be ye pe
mebusa question be let me give a shout out mebusa question be But he said King George and Nasempa. This thing, let me give a shout out to Joe Sack, Facebook Live. Joe Sack said we don't argue to win. Thank you, Mr. Joseph Sakiti. Mr. Opeku Emel also said you are doing well, my brother. You are doing well. After Japan, Kingsley Amoa is watching. He said he likes what we are doing in Japan, Kingsley Amoa. Tisha Lenda Akon. Ade pena Tisha Lenda Akon. Medofo pan so ehwe ana Evelyn Mensah enso ehwe Evelyn Mensah ehwe asanso na Timothy Akwa Sofu Timothy Akwa ehwe. So there are people watching this from Facebook live. But I'm a question we. Question is say from the year card say oba awawari mu no. So oba ewo position so obeboa ne kunu a also oboa ne kunu na be man so wo yere eboa wa eni se wo je ana.
You know there aware nye ade a ye kom in competition.
Okay.
The reason one tia ye de yen eba aware.
Mame nka story we ne ehwe be ma bi na one ne yere. Ne yere no enya promotion wo dwuma mu. Enti ye ma no edan so mun kotinem. Ba be ma ne so ye tire. Enti no on kotena sa dan na in fact also no na pedan. Enti no oba no be ma ne ho kire no na ebi oba no person o se David ebia ene on the chop money 50 cedis but oba ne nim say 50 cedis enso jollof no oba no person odi bi so be ma say 50 cedis no on for make sure say on for anye duane e be so. Enti no all this was so oba ne person offer help be man say no. Why? Because of certain laws to be. Do you?
There's no law. In fact, you say a
King George will be
our real any laws near the worry. They see a tear says and you say in such situations a foolish pride.
Then I have
foolish pride.
Okay.
A foolish pride. A Jimmy.
Okay.
Because Nyankopon bo kai uhwe Bible no say he created the woman as a helpmate. So obane ebe yo boafo. One help that the woman brings to the man eye biblical. I say obaby bi ate ase ne say obano eye oboafo a omo wa osu de anyame botaa anyame de ma no besi yie ama. Na in our current dispensation no say obano yambo no say be dependent totally. You say there are this misconception. Mba bibiri so fi say be man na be war me no so hwe me. Enye saa ene nyame ye no. Nyame ye ne say ye ba together na yetimi oba na abeboa be man no. Ewo nia ewo se oye. Until your assignment is to take care of the home. Until sa wo yire konya adwuma na sa nyame adom yetua ne senwo na so oba no amfa sasika na nkame o. No the mouth, Yaman dan, Yaman apartment, near some cotton. Sassicano, a wood pesoka would be see wood dine away to mean sino. A be an affiance, a boy sicano, a hono, abe solve the problem amount. Into cotton on our rent into Empire and Albus and Yamima, we rent now could say, Moo Sassican could be to your rent and would be ready as away.
So do you know this thing turn into chaos?
Yeah, and I make us a foolish pride because I would see as yes, I want my 50 cities, not so bad, bit me, 1,000 is near bit me as stuff if you need Diane, be a bear for near Timmy DD. It's eating healthy, not eating to fill your stomach. And to the one man so ban bit me as was not so main penia, ya one baby bria, and I'm side Jimmy Semno may be an intino. What to dine, what to turn near ma, and no di. Because untimi be man intimi bringing and say see when you bring yourself down so ba unyade out the brew enti enna make us show leadership into leadership then say you must first Christ has put the church first. He is presenting the church with anti war be man who the answer I'm presenting man to his wife, presenting my wife without fault a default into his wife to me. Enfensi you know the be brobane the brother na say we oba pa me da wase Abigail yen share example Abigail wari obi anu wejimi but ne neye anke ye be kunukunu no enam ne kasa oji ne kunu enti embema bebre wo ho no mo a enama emba bi so ani ate sisi anu a owo kora no de sie ne kunu because remember ni bi on kakra na one or dem ma no opese o manipulate oba ni space ba yen ware se e be manipulate sa me resource no kra ye nchem bom kra no a oba ne de no de aba no gbeni so ese otimi ka me da ase me yire me da ase say wo ye boafo ma me me da ase say wo dwin say so oba ne betimi etu ankola no school fees no say oh me pese ankola no ko school because metimi afford it na wo so e de nyomnyam share den e brew because oba ne nkotena so ade so oba jimifo so and oba kotena be say me kunu kra ka o kamia me dia o eno no so enchire buo enti a two way affair enti sa unya bema enti sa papa ize no sa mi nim no ameka chense papa sa obre ho ase anka be kwani because uma sa jimi ye we ya umba no embeja akodi uba because ade apese oye no untimi nye enti emprempi na ware no eye that is why I brought in Philippians chapter 2.
So then we must say
don't put your selfish ambition ahead of everything that we do.
And your competition.
And your competition.
Very good.
And your competition, it is complementary. And then your social contract. And your covenant. And to me no ebedi misese. Ya jia to mu say yen mi enu ne betena ye be ware ye be hwe ye se ne nyame pese ye no nti nyame de adua me mu no ameme ye mre no amintimi ye no e bia membo a metimi de aboa e wo fie ene se me no mesiesie fie mahwe nkola no wayo mu ene so oba ne ye adwuma no wo sika no de ba no nti me hwe na se ne oba no so na ni sika wo no otimi de aboa ne de pushi nkola ne ye yi a wo mo nka se ye maame ne hwe ye nti ye nimo dabi wo mu hu ni say there's teamwork, there is oneness, there is love, there is union.
Thank you, Osofo. Thank you. Now let us move to the two. In reacting when there is disagreement, you know. See, I clear say there is no need for that debate, you know. There is no need for withdrawal. Bema be obeyesa or you weak. Now let us look at.
You are showing weakness.
So when do one withdraw? At what point must one withdraw?
Say
in the course of the
argument. In the course of argument, no, and American say ebeye argumentative, one must shut up. Because in the midst of chaos, ubi akasa wani biti.
Ubi anti ne nyonko.
And say you only withdraw when you realize say the tempers are rising, emotions are incontrollable. Then you withdraw.
To where?
You withdraw and sit for calmness to prevail.
But you don't move outside the room.
No. Hey, edem ubet me move. You say na dem PM na commit me abetna.
No, I mean outside the house. No?
Yes. Ese obetna. Nti wotna say your kasa bia. Eye dia ye say asantifo si ehuru ebedwe.
Ebedwe. Nsu.
Asem no ba. You see sometimes we have to also learn the strategy in managing conflict. Ebi o asem no esi no a at the heat of it, yes, our time you can. Assembly, you want a cabre.
Engineer cran, you move to two cran.
Until you assembly, you want a cabre. Until I start in a yes, I know. Huruno. Yen canasa.
Very good.
And Tietiano be unto be a Canada keke, be a command costrona, and I don't know, I acordano, ubia ye wino. If he has to be a dignitary mobile. Now, honor and leadership who comes in. Some catch us and me worry. Me mfa masem ko penim bia ho. Because see etimi hunu se ne yenye betimi aka no wodem. Na ate ho enu nti ne ya ware fo. Nti na ya ware. We are merged together and it is ourselves. The reason is that the two of us have become one flesh. If you are tearing me, you are tearing yourself. So people tell you, in Kofi and Kano Crunch, divorce is not. Anybody who have divorced will tell you it's not a pleasant experience because the part of you is taken away, and sometimes it's so difficult to say, that part of you always keep hunting. And no, na the other partner you be na I reconnect you back. And you know, ebe here sa semna ba no yebeka, but send yebeka timing is very very important. Timing to discuss certain matters. Intaden bu abana o di intwaso na. Can we look at other options? You bet me I should be before fro. Ade we na nka yepese but what other options are there for us? What other options? Options ben e wo ho mayen. Se mitiminya other options are ebeboa ma menye no. What other options? Very very important because no problem has one solution depending on how you are looking at it. No problem has one solution. And you know, the approach and I'm person we using are wrong. But can we compromise on another approach that is not ours, it's not yours, it's not mine, but can still get us to the place? A very important say to me, have that resolution. Near Jen say, you beat me, I say,
then I think that in all instances, your focus should be on the solution, not the issue.
Not the issue. See, and let me expand it to our nation. That is why our nation Ghana is what it is. Mm-hmm. Because we are always looking at what we get. That's how our politicians have become. That's how it has affected our civil society. It has affected even our religious bodies. The four bishop for near bishop near the net or dream the ubenya. It's not about the collective good. It comes down to so that selfish ambition, you know. And no say a relationship from governance all down to our homes. And Obi Ohonwa, he is a very nice person away. Immediately on your leadership position, be okore mo penani busu avast that hey na there you minister too bet no edan you manage your own sasano. So we encourage people to do the wrong things for our selfish gains. Into collective good never ira. Into sana wari musono. Sa wo hwe me nko am side a. Dia me ya because a bin story how can say the man want to be domineering and not loving. Because if you are loving, you understand say it doesn't harm me and it doesn't take anything from me. But anybody who wants to be domineering always want to be in control. Into issues near discuss here. Don't take control, but rather be suggestive. We are doing it together. Emma solution a bantem. Say I have the wisdom. I mean so me. I'm the man. You are not a man because you can dominate and no. You are a man because God expects you to lead, to bring harmony, and make sure say the rightful decisions about for the collective good of all.
Now and again say get emotional, try to fix them. These two lines about how one reacts. Here we have looked at withdrawal and debate. Now, must the person react by getting emotional? Is it okay? Must the person also react by trying to fix issues?
Yes, emotions are very necessary because while I express emotions, I miss them. When you harbor your emotions, it is detrimental to you psychologically. It affects you. It harms you. I hate to say, how when soon a tete a shell so Emma it doesn't help your emotions to form properly. And soon is part of life. That's anything you soon. And yet it's not biblical. It's not biblical. And you know, we weep because of the pain. To express is part of the emotion. And you know, as I need to express my emotion. I'm angry. I need to let you know, so I'm angry. It is right to let me know, but let not the sun go down on your anger. There's always a caveat. You must always come to a place that my emotions will not lead me into the negative reaction, into the negative sense of it. But I'm expressing this emotion for you to know. So somehow kind I am here, and I'm ashemi bufu, and now in ye amami. And am I expressing? But me making sure that emotions no me expressing also no, it will not move into the negative. And but rather should compel me to show my displeasure. To show my displeasure. Send a beya wo no a you also your emotions is that you see when this person has shown negative emotion and you are the cause. You don't respond with a negative emotion, a negative energy. What you respond with is say you have to be apologetic. Oh, okay. I didn't look at it that way. I was thinking this way. This is what my person. And no language down. I'm sorry. And don't address issue by saying I feel. No, you are bringing emotions. But rather you have to start. I think I did not look at it from your viewpoint.
So the word I feel
is an emotion.
Okay.
And once you use I feel, that means you're expressing your emotions. But if you think that what I am going through, what you have said, you think that means you are using your head, now you are applying wisdom to say, man, a difference say, me ma think catch me say now per se. And actually say, what the boy pay? And I, but some is to say, oh, na me dwelling from this angle. Intina ma me hu senia na wo canon a different. Enti eni niemu nipa ne bu efu no say na wo so odihia no. Sometimes on say obi timi obi bufu na ye we ni ade. Obam no kra no a ema nipa no eye. Ema na asem bi obeka se sun kra de no bi susu. Nti na so obi edi ya anaso obi emone bibia. Sometimes it is not what you say that the person need. What the person need is for you to sit and be quiet with the person. That is an expression of empathy. Nti one aware of you as the offender, no. The offender is expressing an emotion of anger. You, the offender, you have to withdraw and be empathetic. Enti no say no can the obeka bi do atem kra, you don't respond. Obo wasum kra, you don't respond. That is how you want to express the emotion. Why express it? Enti ono abo wie no ye we na one respond. That's the next response abema say I'm very sorry. I didn't mean it this way. You change the person's perspective of who you are. On one about patch or say I shouldn't have done that, but it's out of anger patch of fetch me. And to see you who send ye be approach issues now. Yes, sir, the direction, and then we bring in comes. So the emotions are working, but they are on a different pedestal, and they are harmonizing instead of being destructive.
So, in other words, we should not let the emotions get the upper hand of us.
Yes.
That we should be on top of the emotions.
Yes.
And if you're on top of the emotions, Yaman said, "Wo na why me bone?" Into me now, was me expressing my emotions towards you, but it should be me in the way of act of expressing the emotion. It should be a one shall meet me to some extent that so also one calm me down, one time you may react.
No, and I make say at every given moment, no.
You
must always be empathetic and you must be apologetic in a way send your approach. Nipa na the other baby me girlfriend inya akasakasa na my wife na ibufu na aba na maka bibi na obo asuma. You don't respond back.
Okay.
You put your hands down and say, yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Francis McCarthy. In fact, yeah, but the line now, obey me afraid, so you try your mobile, obey me afraid. Line 0246 239070. 0246 239070. Yeah, bye. How do we repair even after difficult argument? How couples can argue without even attacking each other? There are a lot of questions. Also, Francis, I crowd and the number ni bio me pese o ene ofre. Now what shall I 0246 239070. 0246 239070. You try your waba simaka krebi ye ba me expect to call no.
Edru sabrace from ko ewa femo so we dwedini a ye crowd say woni ya hwefo benya nketa wode ewo dwede kwanso sede be ya wadwuma no ebetum ma afiwe enye crowd be hwema wo ewo KFM TV Christmas don come so
Tia meje di fo ina akwanya se mo be hwen ewo KFM TV Christmas don come eso se na ye fidie no echeche ne du eche na nipa dodo na ehwe yenti na ebesan atwetwe dom edi abro no Enunti na ye floor sebra. Nebe bo no man who dero. Ewo KFM TV Christmas don't come eso. Se nebe ya ubenya fasudio bebre na ewo eso.
Tunsa e dia frem a mo bie dwuma ahodo ewo Ghana. Se mombra money embedi dwa ewo KFM TV Christmas don't come so.
Enunti bet me afrayin ewo ya homa true for so 0548 79044 ana 0246239070. Na ye nu edidwa kama ewo KFM TV Christmas don't come eso.
KFM TV Christmas don't come.
Bra, na ye
Indeed.
Welcome back to the Love Garden Show. Mwakwaba eba odotro dwumedie na de da pronso a yedi nkomo conflict without chaos. How to argue and still stay in love. And then ya do musuko ya kabebre. Ya kabebre. In fact, okay, there is somebody on the line. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Udini baby okase free.
Yeah. Pacho Efrem Jacob Kwe. Me friend free Zamalai.
Oh, Mr. Jacob and Mr. Kwe.
Yeah. Yeah, Pacho na who can say Yemfa say Oba ana be manu. Emo ba ko fi say oh ebia why me bibi.
But Mr. Kwe lower TV volume why? Okay, yeah, twaso.
Yellow.
Twaso.
Yeah, I feel say you have offended me. And I have to express say why offended me. You have to also reply. Show something to say oh just sorry. Now, this is a situation I feel say me your offender. I didn't offend you. Maybe you have done something to me and I want to put you in the right perspective. Say, oh, yeah, no, and I also have to say I have offended you. Now in this case, what do I do?
Okay, Mr. Kwe.
What do I do in this case?
Okay, yeah, that's you are no. You are no. Yamin Shroud.
I think you are clear.
Yes, I'm clear. So we'll give you the answer. All right, thank you. Also, Mr. Kwe said he wants to put the lady right.
That is the language you don't use. So okay, say I feel say I have to put you right. Now once
I think and I feel.
Or say I feel.
Aye.
And to say me can say when you use the word I feel and I have to put that means say you have already passed judgment. But a relationship so it must be what will work for us. And the approach should be saying, yeah, I feel I have to put you right. Say, I think language we use here, it's not right. It doesn't bring harmony into no. I think say this is how you go to me. I will plead say, sa obeka and kashewi, neshewi, because we all have options. Because Miss me I can't say. But I say we must bring respect to one another. And the ones who assume that posture and say, me person me correct you. Oba no so ebe jina so say o be so correct me saying. That is how me feeling. That's how person me expressing me. But you see, we don't come into relationship with our feelings being the motivation factor for handling the relationship. We come into relationship to complement one another and to give respect to one another, to work in harmony, even in disagreement. And to once I will feel say me person me point to me, I want to show you say me na me ye be man. I feel and not I think. I think that you could have said it this way. It calms everything. And you want or not why. And you are going to see correction must be done in love. Correction must not be done in a bossy form.
And moreover, as a man, yeah, chair cross say we should take leadership role. And you know, whether someone a why crowd now on na assume say yen na yeah.
And you know, I want us the relationship ni hear me.
Saying
the issue no. And the issue no they may address it. But my approach even to address it must be harmonious. Say ebeba ne say I'm correcting in love. Not to you say you are always wrong.
So we don't point out the mistakes of the others.
Yes. So what we do is that I think the thing you spoke about the other time, and until I say timing is also important. In Jinan Kran to Tunkran to Akawate, but we are Bema until the 20 opportunity. I will say, hey, I think the last time when we were talking, you made mention of this. I didn't even pay attention to. Yes, you see this language. We must respect ourselves. We must bring harmony. This is how we want to say in a per se. And you are setting a platform, a foundation upon which the relationship will grow and will be nurtured. The two of you, anytime, any day, I want to tell Jacob, you should tone down and find a way. It's not like, yes, you are there as a schoolmaster to direct. When we are in a relationship, we say there's no schoolmaster, but it is the love we have for one another. And say guiding. The guiding principle is our harmony together. Like you have the keyboard, the harmonious chorus. They are black and white. Every one of them plays their chord. But when you are able to harmonize it, the tune that come out is what makes it beautiful.
Mr. Kwe, and then the same and yes, I think I will be pointed about me. And I say, who do feeling? Me Jane say, me this I think. Who you see that word? After young fire, who soon say it's about getting the solution, not dwelling on the issue. And you know, also bet me afraid that Mr. Kwe offer me. Did say when you answer 0246 239 0246 239 A lot has been said. Let me read some Facebook chat. Evelyn Mensah, I say very educative. Keep on. I'm Arsenal Snow Benson. Also nice program. Good job, bro. Good job. I've announced I'm Arsenal Snow Benson. So he born in Semaye. Shout out. I've Pastor Godfrey entry say I'm watching. So there are people who are following us also who are following us. And you know, from what has been said, you know, then it is very important say we allow people to pour out their emotions. Yes. We should not. Hello, good evening, Obiaba. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Udini baby on kase free.
Apato from Asare. The from Asare me kase free here.
Asare pato lower TV set no why. Nek kasa.
Apato you matter.
Okay, yeah that's it. Obetimi akasa.
Okay. Apato unse obabi o ha enye ba anytime bia o pese ne de kase bia still no feel say no be free na bibisa. Esa so a mama me ka na o akoma de akoma nti bibisa no say na yesi control newa because I don't know yet wa to say no we ade enye right. Eto ko ka na da ni twin. Was
all right.
And so sign ye be say ye me meet managing.
Oh, all right. Also kase free fija.
That's
all right. Yes, that's Mr. Sorry. Also, dear no so on you said the oba ne ye nenye. And so oba bi wo ha o kasa atwinchan. Enti do se be ma no nye de.
Enti eno no sa no e suban. When you are dealing with issues, people who have habitual challenges, then it means that approach must be looked at. As a approach, no. Say na ya wo so ka no. Enu here. Because what can still no on jai ana untie no onye we a ebi a sene wo so ka no no ene sene a wo approach no ye wo enipa ye dedemu sonko bi ho no mu a wona ne ka asem eniso sei no a onte ase obi ho a wona ne tenase na o set an ambience, an environment bi a socialized environment bi na ne kasa otie more. Since say why ya dear no friend no now on native na the same environment kasa nim. Nti ese we look at approach nipa ye makra ya wo no obia ne sene a wo ne kasa uti obi on ma wo de weni ko abu no eye a ote ase obejai obi so on ma wo de background onte the opeso ye no opeso ye but how move no e de ne ko bibi foforo na ne tena ase a eche so approach of resolving issue no so ye very very critical anti no onhwe sene a aye on ne kasa unim sa ade no ye ne nye but have you find another approach a bit me na kasa ebia sewa ade wa hwe mepese ye dwen ade bi ho wa hwe sene aya wo ka sa asem wi se minim se you mean well but sene aya ba out no enye ena say environment no na nipa na ka no say e conducive for bit you say oh okay and there me share patch of eche me e ho no be hunu say oh okay but say bia ukoka na start say wo de say a de bia ye ka kire wo say na usuban we de mi say won sesa and na wonim say wo yusu wo de now the person sees it as an attack and there what label media and there sa na me and tisa kasa na nko yi a you have labeled the person into wo label no a ono so age atum say na mete na za say wa wonim suban da wonim say media into if there wo ka ade no kra na on false because what label no. But don't label the person. Try, you see, separate the issue from the personality. I can't separate the issue from the personality.
Sorry, me just say issue no. Men fa issue ni embata ni panon.
Yes, and it's our addressing and say, oh dear, it's when you use language like, I know you. This is how you are. I know. That means that you have put the person in a label form. You are certain saying and subaintie. Until now the person comes to a place say, oh, so if this is how you've labeled me, then let me be. And the mammy says, I'm telling mammy yes. But oh catch and say, oh, me who say I am premping no person can't see, but I say I am out. The meaning so washa. See, you are being suggestive into be opens up and say, oh, okay. I am person can see and say that be bakasani and canasa. So what can you see? I say nature. Now if you the woman nipa na oti. Now if you the resolve issue. Until asari should look at the approach aya or the can. Because any oka say the nature say idea they be oka nature say ono so no senior they be oka usuban we are say usuban say na be wako compare no to obi.
Me question bi wa number na obetimi afre 0246239070 0246239070 fre na ye chewa adwene Minister Johnson inti osi God bless you bro Mabel Mensah say nice program to watch keep it up osofo ana question bi wa Nelson Boatin Safo Mr. Nelson Boatin Safo say Kofi keep on the good job I really love the program my question is how do you handle someone who will change for a short time and will still repeat the same actions? How do you handle it? Next question is say somebody who will change for a short time and still repeat the same actions. How do you handle it?
We are human being. Repetitiveness obi adia obi aya for a very long time will not change overnight. Obi mo hon ma ye won crofobia or hon ma they are not conversant with their life patterns. Enti aden waka wate onye intentional at it intisan we will walk them through the transformation process. You have to walk the person through. How do you walk the person through that transformational process? And then they say you take your time. We can say waka akotua so then now it means that the person need guidance. In terms of guiding the partner say and can say na de bia we no maka ade maka best 100 times suban say anete on say but I say oh can we discuss this matter I've made as an observation I might be wrong you see once oh yes I know you are opening up a discourse for the person to now pay attention I might be wrong but my observation is say okay say sadly we've had issues around it. We've always had issues around it. Anyway, but me who say it keep repeating itself. But me who say enya dia ode bo apaye na eye. But me who say repeating it. Have you observed it yourself? Oh, that be I'm not paying attention to it. Then until be on my impulse labor. And how do I help you? How do you think I can be of help? No, I catch it. You see, you throw it, and the person say, prompt me. Prompt me. See, on mouse, I go ahead, and immediately the person say, hey, you can make it as a joke, something for prompting. And once you open it up like that, we are permission. Once he has given the permission, to alcohol more, prompting, I will say, oh, I'm sorry. So what word can I use in place of that? What can I say instead of that? Then we are doing the corrective measure, because and you be no timi correcting home. Obi on ma ni refi eba impulsively. Obi on ma, there are some people who are stuck with certain vocabulary.
Yeah.
And a vocabulary issue. On say bro for kasa ye ni e kan ni asante kasa ye kan ye krom kasa ni we ni ade. Obi timi expressing ho power bro for because he reads a lot. Obi timi in different words, synonyms, antonyms to express himself in the same way.
But tree no limited.
But tree no limited. Obi so on my bro for na so no because on country are limited. And you know the expression is always one way. You know, somebody will tell you, say, Obi or high propensity for hyperbole. What does that mean? Well, I can't for Kessie. But it's just talking about exaggeration. You are exaggerating. But what can I say? Maybe or sure, Obi or more, so you are gaslighting me. Or say, and so I say, and so I say, see, there are words people use by express. In Tabia no can. Bibi no person or kabawate asem no use, but o name the implication in its context. Nti esa wona wutime boa a coach. So same way ade we wo kan. You don't need to tell me I'm a fool to make me to say you have insulted me. It can come in your action. It can come in a saying. It can come in a until you are coaching the person to help it. Until we are helping each other. We are shaping and molding each other. A transformational process journey. It doesn't come easily with everybody. Obi cry in office. Ade a ya chere na but they be your mistake. And you know, because all your mistake, you know, say ebi wan changing the role. Ebi so on ma. On one case obi etimi guidance. Okay, then I'm going to give you this indicators. When you see this, do that. And then ubon say sa ade na de man no ana etimi correct it. So because obi an senior or take it that way. We have to be patient with one another when we are going to handle conflict situations and this animal. Patience is required. Nyabre ma yehu because wokra na wo fi say we perfectionist now we did that, you know, you are not whole in yourself. Only say hands gestures in itself can be very destructive to some people. Yes. And you know, we have to be very careful how we approach these things.
Now some you say it's me you question na asare de no say abuse bit me catch Mr. Sari say when does he also try to say or be cast him no when emre so here
something make us say time is of essence here niti me can say intina make say the environment approach no when no any time it deals with it because you say we are very careful how you are going to address the issues because and them na mafo abano you see for instance let me just digress on this issue. They misconstrue sex to be love.
Yeah.
And timpemu agro and then abe ebu. Inti ansa no no be ware no. There's nothing there to hide. Everything has been exposed. And then no na emma omunim said they are throwing away their trust in the marriage. They are compromising on the trust of the marriage. Into that intimacy and that bonding has been traded off. And if you warrior na ade no ntimi sisi ne no na de ntokwa ne ayi ne ade ne aba is part of the issue, things that causes conflict in the home, and it degenerates because enye bi a wama meaye and then there also we hunu nyansa da be na hunu za nyansa na wo be correct me because when we were courting or we were dating enye mani bi na kasa na ndem make na wo ye we no that's been our language. That has been our language. Until when did you see the need? Until I make say, oh yeah, bear man. Send only your band beshas and say, no benin. Because you are the one laying the foundation and she's building upon and we are building on it together. Until be on my den be on my idea, my year fiti. Time I'm dating any year na mudia babe worry. Until who the need there so sesa. Because we need me say na mete. Sana me come and say mo bit me say me wuni me say me kasa tra. I say it as it is.
The man musa question we. I was so send you pan and son wa worry na worry na no asesa no.
That be mo start se mo nante a oho ena ensacha ne ba oho ena start se Elite Foundation me yere minim ne 10 years and say ware me ne nante che me yere I mean me yere nipo ni me yere pa King George ni me yere pa and onu nim circumstances and which cry say be start dating me hu me yere ache enti minim ni su ene ne ban ena kasa bia na ye yusu enye bia because see when you start dia mule no anu na mo de ware enti ye be ware wi anya fiance wo ba be I say dua enyin anya fiance be kono me enti wo be control no abra onyin no na ye flexible no enti samu yusu kasa bia na mo de be ware a efi de ne sesan na edin enti ho no na wo pese wo say bia na fiance mabeji Kristo de fiance mabetena na say mahunu say the need aba say be enti wo be ma no a we hunu say need na pese efi de me pese me sesan me yere me pese ye di en common different no say unya abotre enti na ye process say wo to obo na efi de wo poma ya nanti ni say first na ye kan say ni sisi an yintimi kan say yenyi no so say sesan ye kasa ankwala beba say sesan environment say na wo chire na wo dane
yes sesan enyoma bi ansa ye rem na ye ntwen say ye be rem
ansa wa be sesan enti na ye ka say you don't come into a relation to change anybody
me de binim say wari obesesa
dabi
say start
dabi owari on sesa
jotia no de
enti no unim say enti na me ka kire young ladies ne say be ma no akofa na no ye head what start obo watodwe no start so call out no musa no we unim say wo mpa jai ndi chiri because enya de a owari wi a obema watopo no enye yi enti men ka say me di mi Kristo som me train na oba mema na ye Kristo ni you can't convert. It's the Holy Spirit that convicts men of sin. Pray for his conviction, his conversion before you bring him to the altar. Once you bring him there, or no abe your one day.
Yamre ne yaso. Yase agro eye de na ade san ayi nkrasefo. And I believe that we've not exhausted this topic. There are what do we ever call part 2, part 3? Was the kind of questions that amount for sending on my private message messages. We need to address all these questions. But I just want you to understand. But what I say, we can still argue and stay in love. Also, for say conflict is necessary, but chaos is optional. And also for last week, then I would do chat to.
The ambassador me ma ashofuni ati asene say. Yede ye ho a endie ho ekini ene mfiti prekope so mbo yesin muja ne bitu enti ade no a kasa no a meka enfa buo enfa mpeja na emma enfa nimtie emma ye ho no ma menka ena asem susisi a menjin relationship ne ho enya asem no asem no de be pani puma sibre because enu ebetwem ye mframa ye bo ebetwem enti asem ba yempe solution no na yenjai enho akade no enu ho yawo no yenya solution no a sa na emani ni abefiri ho na yetimi atena na yatena yi na ye de odo atena eni nidie ama ye ho ye ho
Yamin Shaw, also for Francis McCarthy from Flames International Worship Center, Malam. In fact, as MCA, let us look for the solution. Do not dwell on the issue. And the issue need here, but solution here. And Jumedian so Emerson said the curtains will be drawn down. It was said, "Unya bre frey, unya bre eteste, unya bre etie yet." Because we don't take you, our viewers and listeners, for granted. You say, "Most can be to mediate a pay," because this program is here to stay and to shape life. That is the essence. We want to shape a man broken heart, a man relationship. We want to educate ourselves. And in Yamin Shrow, na Jumedian so send a medica, you know, me group, my strap for Nady Jumedian pa. Abigail, as my director, has been so good. Kudos, Abigail. Cristiano Sound. May that's a power Cristiano for the effort. have Elizabeth nso no ene Richard camera a itimi di ba me fiefiem omada roma ebio nso menua be ma set ene wo master control room ana ye nyina ye nua be ma Ken George, he's the overall producer. Me din ede osofo Francisco Kofi Mensah obetimi afre me unto the Lord nyame eboa next week ye de say ya ye beto aso ye de beba wo fiefiem kan hu say Jesus saves, heals and satisfies. Nyami Shrao. Bye bye.